Let's prepare on strain energy. So strain energy, for first, what is strain energy means? It is the resilience only. So resilience only we call it as the total strain energy, okay? So it is the ability of the material to absorb the energy. So that ability only we call it as the strain energy. Whereas the energy actually absorbed by that property or that element, we call it as proof resilience. Okay, the next strain energy will be equal to the work done, so it is always expressed as half into P into del. So half P is the load and del is the deflection. So deflection we already know, it is PL by AE, no, so that only they have substituted here. So I'll get the formula as P square L by 2 AE. So here if you multiply by area in the numerator and denominator, the formula will be like this: P square AL by 2 A square E. So that P square A square only they have taken as sigma square in the next step, and A into L will give you volume. So it can be expressed as this also. So sigma square by 2E into volume, and this stress is again denoted as the strain and everything. We know that the Young's modulus is equal to stress by strain, no? So that formula is again applied, and it is expressed as E into sigma square, that is strain square by 2 into volume. So these are some different forms of the strain energy formula. And then the proof resilience, as I told, it's the maximum energy absorbed by the limit, within the limit, okay? That is the limit of proportionality. And then the modulus of resilience means it is the resilience per unit volume. So their formula will be changing as sigma square by 2E alone, whereas volume and volume will get cancelled. And there are some different strain energy formulas based on the different types of loads. Okay, so based on the type of load, the stress will be changing. So we will be substituting this stress in the strain energy formula, and we'll be calculating the strain energy. The first one is the gradual load. So in the gradual load, we'll be taking the normal thing only. It's half into P del only. Then the impact load. So impact load means when we drop an object, an impact is produced there, no? So that type of load is applied. So here the formula is again the same only, but they have given another formula with respect to the height of that object falling. Okay, so if you see the second formula, it is P by A into 1 plus root of 1 plus 2 A E H by PL. So here this H and L alone is a different term for us. So it is nothing but place where we are dropping, no? So from that point to the base where it is hitting, so that height is only calculated as H, and the total height of that element we call it as the length. So the length of that whole specimen. So generally this only we will be calling as call as impact load, and this is the formula for that. So when this H becomes 0, it is somewhat nearer to a sudden load is applied there. So when you substitute H is equal to 0 in this formula, then this whole term will become 1. Root 1 you will get 1, so it will be getting the answer is 2P by A. So you can write it as that also, okay? And then the sudden load. So sudden load, it's as I told here, when H is equal to 0, it can also be expressed as 2 into the gradual load. So it is PA alone you'll be getting, sorry, P del alone you'll be getting. So these stresses can be applied in the strain energy formula, and then you can calculate the strain energy. So the next thing is the ductile material has greater resistance to fracture under shock loading. Okay, so always ductile is more better than the brittle material in case of the impact loading. Okay, so that is only they are telling here. And then here are some different strain energy formula based on the different stresses. So the first basic formula we saw, no, it's half P del, and that is for the basic stress. So when the shear stress or torsion is applied there, means it will be changing accordingly. So the first formula, if you see shear stress, it is tau square by 2g into v. So tau we know that it is a shear stress, and g we know as rigidity modulus and volume. When a torsion is applied, it is transformed as tau square, that is torsional shear stress here, by 4g into volume. And then the bending means the same thing, sigma square by 2e into volume. So that only we saw it in the first. And then if it is volumetric stress means it is sigma square by 2k into volume. Okay, so here the only differing factor is here the tau square for shear stress and torsion, whereas in the volumetric and bending we use sigma. And then the rigidity modulus. So here both it's rigidity modulus, here Young's modulus, and here it's bulk modulus. And other than that, everything is having a denominator of 2 except this torsion formula. Thank you, and keep watching for the next lecture on propped and fixed beams.